the Minnesota Vikings taking on the London Black Knights.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the London Black Knights and the Minnesota Vikings. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run again on first down, Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
They'll roll him out right, and he's going to keep it here. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
From the gun on 3rd, Hill, and that's caught by Smith. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. He's got this down to the 35.
That's good for a minute.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Hill now operating from the red zone. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Second and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line. A shotgun snap for Hill. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence points after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked.
They'll take over.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Tackle made at the 38.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
First carry now for A.J. Dillon. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, London.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And some room to run now. The 20. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that 2nd level and 3rd, and that's what they were able to exploit.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Complete to John Ross.
John Ross with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. The tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. On 2nd and 11 now. Hill, they'll buy some time late. They'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Throwing on 3rd down, Hill. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll run on first down. Callahan. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
The Vikings take
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Sliding out of the pocket, and now he's going to use his legs. And there he goes again. And all the way down to the 9. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback is scrambling around, actually takes off and runs downfield, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run with Cook, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
loss of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 11-yard line.
Out of the gun, Hill. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. He may try and run for this. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll move the chains.
It's a gain of 10. And a London first down.
10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports.
10. Black Knight 7.
On first down, Callahan. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
On play action, Rodgers. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it in for the touchdown. John Ross, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will make it into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jeremy Chin able to record his 5th sack of the season.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Hill. That'll be complete to Cook. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball. All right, when guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. He's at the 30. 10.
Do what we do.
Touchdown.
Do what we do.
Rodgers pass.
John Ross on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't
Go
worked
to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 1st and 10, Hill stepping up. He's going to keep it. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. The open man is Smith. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
That's good.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st down, Hill. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Hill throwing once more. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith. And now it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
At the 20-yard line.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
They'll roll him out. Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 40, past the 20.
Always.
And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
You see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
3rd down and 5.
From the gun on 3rd down. Hill rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Operating from the gun. Hill. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
A 7-yard pick.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
7-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard on the play. It's now 3rd down and 4.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he will have a Vikings first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to run the route. He also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction. I was able to track the ball in another.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Cook has it, left side. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And he finds Cook. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run for it with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. Look at the time left. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Rodgers now on 1st down. This ball complete to Rager. And he's going to have a first down here. They're also in a field goal range now at the 27-yard line.
25 yards. 1st down, Black Knights.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to have the hook up to Ross.
Rodgers.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
First down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. That is caught inside the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now Rodgers. And it's caught. Touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
Vikings 17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now it's Hill. The open man here, Renfro. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
Josh Lambo on for the field goal. A 52-yard attempt.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will do it for this first half. So due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Josh Lambo set.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
1st down and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Hill on the move to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Hill going to try and run with it. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you...
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Jeremy Chin in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the 1st down sack. Hill, and he's going to go down again. Jeremy Chin, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Jeremy Chin puts it in, and they will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Touchdowns at 21 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken about a yard deep. Well, they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
At their own 37-yard line.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now Hill, fresh off the pick 6. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
That's good.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6.
A shotgun snap for Hill. Forced out. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it and go the other way. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the Vikings' 47-yard line.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Ball carrier.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Got a man, it's Wallace, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line.
First down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. From the gun, it's Dillon. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 17. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
6. And a London first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Jalen Reagor was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Complete. It's 2nd down and 10.
To throw again. Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Rodgers. Open man is lost, complete. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
Black Knights 44.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. From the gun, here's Hill. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. And
he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run on first down. Jordan. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Number 30.
Call that a gain of 11. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try to finish off a game.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On first down, it's Jordan. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And this offense continues to pour it on. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they've wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they've wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 31-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Touchdown, London.
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
58.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over, and you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Throwing after the interception. Hill. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. Here's Hill. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Hill. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Another Vikings first down.
Throwing again is Hill. Smith catches left side. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 7 yards the pickup there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
From the gun on 3rd, Hill. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll try the air now with Hill. The quick slant caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Out of the gun, Hill. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to get a score back.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. The Bears are going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
Number 20.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, That tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
No gain on the play there, second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Jordan. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
2 yards on the play. First down, Black Knights.
20.
They'll run on first down. It's Jordan. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
The offensive line, they're getting it done.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitor,